Welcome to All Cards on the Table. I'm Yaz.
And I'm Renna, and we're laying all cards on the table, physically
and hypothetically.
Join us weekly as we talk all things business and booze while we use Tequila Tuesday as our excuse to drink.
So, welcome back to another episode. As you should know by now, pretty much all of our games, apart from our PG, family-friendly drinking game, have got quite a lot of sexual cards in them. And we do like to kind of think of ourselves as a sex-positive brand as such, just because like destigmatizing like the taboo of talking about things like why shouldn't you be able to talk with your friends about what sex toys you own and like STIs and what positions you're good in and bad at. Like, why not? We should be able to talk with our friends, laugh about it, educate each other, and just learn from each other.
So today we are joined with Millie. She is a sex positive content creator and a sex educator as well. So we've seen your account grow recently, like crazy, like it's blown up. And I think it's just because you're so authentic. Like you talk about things like with no filter and you say the things that people want to hear, but they're too scared to say. Like people some people just like don't want to share that on the internet, and that's like fair enough, but like it's so great that you're doing it. Like it's amazing that you're kind of like that voice for people.
Thank you.
So you talk about sex education on TikTok. You've grown your account to 136k followers.
I know.
Amazing. I know. I think we first like discovered you like when you were like,
we've been following you for a while.
Yeah, for a while. Like we love your videos. They're so funny. We always send them into each other and we're like, yeah, this one.
When people say that they watch my TikTok, sometimes I'm like, oh my
god, yeah, like which one?
Which one? What have you seen? Like, what do you know about me?
So you've worked with loads of sexual wellness brands, you've done like collaborations, and also you do style as well, which is super cool. Like you merge two things together. So first, we really want to hear about your ebook. We'll start off safe and then we'll kind of go into it. So you made an ebook and it is all about kind of being single and embracing that. What inspired it and basically what's in it and what is it giving people a taste of?
Yeah, of course. So I brought it out on Valentine's Day this year.
Nice.
And I actually brought it out on Valentine's Day because it was the 2-year anniversary of my breakup. So
on Valentine's Day.
That just says it all. Like that literally says it all.
Like,
so that's what actually inspired the whole ebook. I went through a breakup. I was with him for about 6 years. We lived together.
God.
It was like, it was a traumatic breakup to say the least. But we actually lived together for like 3 months after we broke up. It was a whole situation, but I just didn't understand how to like deal with a breakup, and it hit me like a ton of bricks like when we actually broke up and moved out, and it was just like a year process of like going through all these emotions. So that's what inspired the ebook, because I have 2 really good friends and they like carried me through that breakup, and I just thought there's literally no one else I could have spoken to about any of it. So if people don't actually have that support system with their friends, then maybe they could lean on the ebook a little bit and it could like guide them through in like in an honest way as well. Like I talk about, what happens if you want to go back to your ex, what happens if you have a one-night stand and it doesn't go exactly how you think it'll go. Like getting under someone to get over someone, it doesn't always work that way. And like talking about all those raw things that you can't really speak about with just anyone. So that's what inspired it. And I hope the people who have bought it feel the same way, really.
100%. I feel like there's an amazing like set of like a few books that are like the most famous ones, like the Why Men Love Bitches, like that sort of thing, that you always kind of would go to and you'd recommend to people.
100%.
So I feel like kind of was that the goal with it? Like would you want to kind of, you'd give it to like your friend or like it I mean, even like a bit cliche, but like something that you'd give to like your daughter. So if you ever had a daughter that was like going through it, like writing it for that.
Yeah, so my mum works with a few women who are like obviously a bit older, and one of them was like, after I brought that out, she was like, can she please do one about like sex ed so I can give it to my daughter when she starts asking those questions?
It is great.
And great. I was like, oh my God.
I'm sure I did see something that you were saying that you were working on another one.
Yeah, so I'm working on another one, which is going to be because I feel like some people wanted to buy the single one, but they might not have been single. So their boyfriends might have been like, what? Why not that? So I wanted to bring one out that was a bit more like inclusive for everyone. And it's going to be called confident girl era, and it's going to be all about like the confidence in the bedroom and like how to be confident in the bedroom, how to be like your most confident sexual self, and just a bit more inclusive and a lot more like sex based rather than how to get over a breakup.
I love the sex education idea as well. It's great.
Yeah, definitely.
It is great because it is. I always even think about it. I'm just like, if I had a door, I have no idea how I would have ever approached it.
No,
just wait for those awkward questions.
It's one of them things that like I think as you get older, you become more open with it. Like even like with my mum and my parents, like I'm so much more open with it now. But it's like I never got taught like anything about sex, like from my mum. It's like discovered like everything myself, like from Yaz mainly. To be fair.
Okay.
I think like the reason I went into like talking about all this sort of stuff was because when my mum used to sit me down, she used to be like, right. And she used to have this book and it had like drawings and illustration, and it was the most formal way she probably could have done it, and it made me feel sick. Like it made me feel so uncomfortable just because she was trying to talk to me about it. But maybe if it was a bit more lax and it was like, you know, this is what happens, it's normal, it's natural, like this is just how it is, then maybe I'd feel different about it. But then I think once I got a little bit older, I was like, hang on, like, why isn't this normalised? Why is it so taboo to speak about? And what's normal, what's not, and all that sort of stuff. I just don't understand why it's not spoken about. And I think I've probably spoken about it in some situations where it's just not appropriate, but I'm like, I actually don't understand why it's not. Like,
I think when I was younger, my mum was actually really casual with it. I remember going to like a birthday party when I was only about 10, and I was with my friend, and there must have been like a girl that was a few years older, and she must have said something about blowjob, and probably the rest of us all just like laughed at it and had no idea like what the fuck it meant. And I'm pretty sure like me and my other friend went home, and she must have asked her parents like, Mom, this girl said this, what does it mean? And then her mum like called my mum and was like, has Yasmin asked you about this? And she brought me in the room. She's like, Yasmin, do you know what a blowjob is? And I was just like, no, I thought it was a boob job. I was like, oh, is it where you get your boobs made bigger?
Makes sense.
And I can't remember how my mum explained it to me, but I just it was just like a memory that unlocked the other day when I was writing down the notes for this episode.
Do you know what?
She was pretty casual.
Well, actually, I think I heard it somewhere, but basically, so most of like these books and stuff, they're often given as gifts, and it's the same with like sex toys. Because at first you're like, oh my God, it's not embarrassing, but like you kind of don't want to accept it. Like if I gave you like a book about a breakup and you were going through a breakup, you would be like, no, I don't want that. But then it'd be late at night and you'd be like, I'm actually going to read that. Like I actually do need that. And it's like the same with like sex toys as well. It said like most people get their first sex toys either gifted to them or like given as a joke. And then after that they get into it and like you buy your own. So I think that's so true. And it's one of the things that it's so taboo, and it's like, why should it be like that? You should want to like go out and explore it yourself. Definitely. But like, it's one of them weird things that you're like, oh, you don't really want to do it yourself. And
like, I was talking about this a few weeks ago, like with like masturbation and things like that. It's like in school when people are like, oh, you definitely do this, and it's like, no, I don't. Like, why are girls like that? They just instantly deny it. And obviously in school it's a bit different, but with guys like picking on you and stuff, and you're like, I was thinking like, I don't know if I even answered them, because in the back of my head I'm probably thinking like, I do.
With guys,
what to say about it?
Yeah, with guys, like masturbation's so normal, and I don't realise at what point it became okay for girls just to like speak out about it. But it's great. No, it's honestly great. But at one point, there was just like one point I was like, no, I don't do that. No, I don't do that. And then at one point, someone asked me, I was like, yeah. I was like, obviously, obviously.
And you're like, where did that switch?
And it's like, when did that actually switch? I'm like, when did that switch happen? But like, I'll ask my friends and you'll speak about it openly and you'll be like, yeah, everyone does it.
Yeah.
And it's like, at what point did that actually come? But it's so great.
Yeah.
But like, when did that actually happen?
It's so good that you can just speak about it freely. And I don't know what age that like happens where you think, oh, do you know what? Like, I'm just going to speak to my friends about it now. Like, we're all clearly doing it. Why aren't we speaking about it together and like normalising it a bit
even
more?
just laugh at it. Like,
it's so normal to speak about like stuff you're doing with guys in school and all this stuff, and it's like cool, but then it's like masturbation, like, oh, no topic, like let's not talk about that. The guys do that. Like you should be able to speak about it normally, and I hope that like in schools it is a bit more normal.
I hope so. Or I hope girls at least send their friends my TikTok, and then maybe it like sparks some sort of conversation.
No, 100%. Like you need someone that's kind of like,
so what was kind of like when did you kind of realise there was a niche for it? Like, you obviously started kind of posting, like, more educational things. It was before the Healthy Single Girl Guide, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was way
did
before.
You just kind of, like, post something that was a bit out there and then think, oh, like, this actually does well?
So when I broke up with...
could teach people?
When I broke up with my boyfriend, literally everything changed. Like, I worked in marketing before that, and then I actually started working for a sexual wellness brand, and like I had my training for like to be an educator literally all in the same month, and it all just like switched. And then I started talking about like my breakup and newly single dating life, and always that's a bit chaotic. So people just started liking it, and then I'd just go a little bit further and be like, okay, what can I get away with talking about? And then I'd go further again, and then people started asking questions like, hang on a second, like you mentioned something, like what does that mean? Or, you know, can you just go into that a little bit more? And then I was like, oh, okay, look, people actually want to know about this. And then I deeped it a little bit, and I was like, okay, this actually isn't taught, so why don't I just do it on a platform that's maybe a little bit younger as well? So I might be getting them at the right age, or before they, you know, make the same mistakes as I did. And yeah, that's just where it came from, really. Like, and then more questions just started being asked, and then I just answering what came through, and maybe going into some topics that people didn't want to ask about. Yeah,
100%. When they ask these questions, do they ask them off like, do you ever like go on the account, is it their like own account, or is it like an alias? Because I feel like if like genuinely if I was to do it and I was like a bit younger, I'd probably just like make like a little fake account and comment on it and be like, how do I give a blowjob? I wouldn't want like my friends like seeing that there, which I know like it shouldn't be taboo, but like I feel like you would. So is it more anonymous, or is it more just like people just being open?
I think it's a bit of both. Like I do click on some accounts because I'm like, you know, is this a middle-aged man?
Is this like a 13-year-old child? Or I
kind of just want to gauge how old they are sometimes. Should they know this? I don't know. But it's a lot of the time it's just their account, like their normal account.
That's great.
Sometimes if they ask questions and I answer them, it comes up with like their profile picture on the TikTok and
on the
like
question box.
Yeah, a few times I've been like, can you take it down? I don't want people to see my thing. And then I might just message me on Instagram if you have like a question that you want to be answered but don't want to out it on TikTok. That's fine, I get it.
100%. Oh, that's so lovely. That's good. Okay, so do your parents watch your TikToks?
They do. I think my mum does. I don't think my dad's ever really gone on TikTok to have a look, but he definitely knows what they're about. Like, when I first started posting it, I posted it on Instagram and TikTok. Now I just stay on TikTok. But my mum was doing her food shop in Asda, and someone was like, oh, have you seen what Millie's been posting on social media?
God.
And I don't think my mum even knew at that point, and she was like,
is there more though? Like more of the kind of like lingerie pics, or like literally the videos?
Yeah, it was like
it's not like you're literally, not that it's a bad thing to do at all, but it's not like you're just doing OnlyFans and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Or like posting some really, you know, whatever stuff. But my mum didn't even see what was going on at that point, and she was like, yeah, I have seen, like, what's wrong with that? And stuff. And I was like, oh, she had my back, bless her. But yeah, I mean, I think my mum tries to stay away from the stuff I talk about that's a bit more personal to me, because she's just like, I don't want to see or hear that. Like,
you
ever. But with the educational stuff, I think she thinks it's really good. Like, she works with like younger people and things like that as well. So I think she thinks it's really helpful. And
definitely.
Yeah, my dad just stays away from it. He's like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know what my daughter's talking about.
Okay, so what is the most common question that you get on TikTok?
Recently, I've been getting a lot about first times.
Yeah, that's what I did see like a couple of the, because sometimes I'll like look at the comments on your videos and I'm like, I actually want to know what people respond to this.
Yeah, I think I did a video about first times and maybe what to expect, and you know, it's not all glorious as like the movies say, but then a load of other questions came through, like, is this normal? Am I going to bleed loads? Is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And like so many first time questions have been coming through. But other than that, it's like, is this normal? People like ask those sort of questions. Like, I don't like gush like he does during sex. Like, is that normal? This doesn't happen to me, but it happens to my friends. Like, am I abnormal because of that? And I'm like, just answer those, because there's so little in sex that's considered not normal. Like, there's really nothing to worry about most of the time, and I think it's just knowing the difference, like everyone's got a different body, everyone reacts different to literally everything, so it's just being aware of that. And obviously when you're younger you just like panic about everything, and you're not taught it, you're taught one thing.
I was gonna say, like, what did you guys get taught in school? Because I feel like we did brief amounts in primary. I went to a Catholic secondary school, and I don't think we were allowed like sex education there. I'm not sure.
Really?
It wasn't like super religious school at all. It was literally just, we had, I think everyone has to do like RE GCSE, and then we just had like a mass like every term or whatever. But we didn't have sex education in secondary school other than like someone coming in to show us like images of STIs. Did you guys have that? And they'd like do like it would be like a day, you know, like career
That's
day.
terrifying.
It'd be like careers
pictures.
day, and there was like, I'm not sure, there must have been some sort of day where I just remember sitting there in a classroom and they'd be like, this is like what herpes looks like, and they'd like show you a picture, and like this is what this is, this is what this is. But
it's
and
literally
it's just like
that
this
scene
is,
off
like,
Mean Girls. It's like, don't have
prevention.
sex or you'll die. Like they might as well have just said that.
Yeah. It literally, I'm pretty
terrifying.
sure. Like I can remember sitting there and just being like, what the fuck is this? But it's just crazy. Like we don't get taught anything that we need to know, and I don't know, like.
You get
I don't
taught,
know,
like,
could you ever see yourself like doing education in schools? Is that something that you'd like to go into?
I've spoken in a uni once, and I was like hung around for a bit afterwards so people could come and ask questions, and there was quite a few questions there, to be honest, and it's definitely something I'd like love to do. Like my sex ed was like, here's a banana, here's a condom, like put it
we
on.
did that. We did.
that.
And I was like,
really
I didn't even do it because I was so embarrassed. Like, and all the boys were like laughing, and they didn't teach us anything about like, they just teach you the scientifics, like how to make a baby and then what can possibly go wrong. And like I had a teacher and she was like, I bled low. She was talking about her like own personal experience, and I was like, that's like awful. Like why are you scaring me out of it so much? I was kind of scared, but also I was like, I mean, I don't know if I was scared going into it, to be honest. Probably not. I wasn't really. No. I just wanted to get it done and then like, see what it was like. I was 15 when I lost my virginity.
Oh, really? I was 14.
Oh, yeah, you were young. I think I was 16 or 17. Maybe 17.
But this is like, I think this is the issue. So I was literally one of the first ones that lost it in my year. Like I was really clueless. Like
did you tell like your friends at school?
Oh my god! When I lost my virginity, right? I walked. It was after the summer holidays.
Yeah.
You know, you like got like 6 weeks off. Walked back into school. I walked back into school
over the summer holidays.
Yeah, walked back into school like a bad bitch. I walked in and I was like, yeah, I've lost my virginity, and everyone was like, oh my god, like asking me questions. I was like, yeah. No, genuinely, I thought I was the
shit. Like,
I literally thought I was the shit. But like looking back, I was like, I was way too young. Like, and back then, all I had was like, I was watching like Zoella on YouTube that had barely talk about anything. Like, I didn't know about sex. I was like, what?
You would just Google it and end up on like some long Reddit forum of like
definitely
random things.
But you know what? At 14, I'd already watched porn. Me and my best friend used to sit and watch it.
Really?
Yeah, just to realise what was like happening.
Sit and watch it together like a film.
What actually goes on.
Okay, this is like... So this is quite bad, actually. I don't really care about saying it. But anyway, so me and my friend, we used to watch porn. And we used to... And obviously, like, when you're that age, you're going through puberty, and you get turned on, but we didn't know that we were getting turned on, so we said we were getting butterflies.
I think you have told me.
Oh, no.
And we tell each other, oh, yeah, I got butterflies then. It's not. We're literally getting turned on.
I used to watch, you know, like really late night telly, and it was like Sexcetera. And it always used to be on the telly, and just to click onto it.
Oh my god.
My parents used to
channels. Oh my god.
And I used to be like, whoa, like, is this what adults watch? Like, oh my gosh. And I'd keep it on, and if someone came on the room, I'd be like scrambling for the remote, like, I'm not watching this.
But delete my history.
I mean, even before I lost my virginity, like, I'd 100% watched porn, like, I'd masturbated before that. And I mean, I was like fine after I lost it, and then I was like, who's next?
Who's next? No, I think mine was different because I'd never done anything sexual with a boy. Literally anything at all. Just a kiss, like no other sexual encounter.
Really?
And then just did everything in that one night, and I was like, oh, fucking hell. Overwhelming, and that's what I mean. It was literally all or nothing. It was crazy. But then after that, I don't think I slept with someone for like quite a while because I was just a bit like,
But you're a bit shook.
Yeah,
like
it's,
whoa, all at once.
Yeah, it's shocking. I remember telling my friends and they're like, oh, you just did everything. I was like, yeah, ask me anything. I'm the sexter at 14 years old. But you do learn from your friends. And obviously, I think it is quite important, obviously, if you are the first one to like lose it, like you need to don't be walking around and being like thinking Billy Big Bollocks. Because like your friends are going to like learn from that. And also like you don't want other people to action things because 14 is so young. Like I dread to think that if any of like my friends just did it then with the boyfriends afterwards just because I did it, like I'd hate to think that because it's so young and like
definitely.
You look back then and you are a child, so I can't really blame myself. But there is a pressure.
Once you kind of get to like even like year 11, you're like 16. 17, it's so much pressure because so many people have done it.
Yeah.
We had a thing, like, people were literally setting up to lose it before we went to college.
Or even some people were like,
that's like a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a thing.
Yeah. Some people would be like, how is this person, like, lost it before me? And
it's like a competition.
Like, it was such a thing in schools, like, you had to lose it before you went to college. Yeah. And if you didn't lose it before you went to college, like, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, literally. Like, and it's really not the case.
No, it's not at all.
I know so many people who didn't lose it until they went to uni and things like that. And it's like, who cares? Like, once you've done it once, no one cares anyway. So,
and you know what? You don't have to share that with everyone. You don't have to tell anyone you're a virgin. Like, you keep it to yourself. Like, no one has to know. Yeah. And if they know, like, they're not going to judge you for it as well. Exactly. It's just one of them things that just like is just your own thing. Yeah. And I like obviously you kind of do you have to tell your partner if you're a virgin if they're taking your virginity? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think so.
I probably would. Just because you don't have to be like, I'm a virgin from the off. But like, you don't have to announce it. But if you're getting into a situation.
I've not done it before. Just so they know what to expect of what is going to happen. Because
and they need to be like a little bit more like cautious and just be a bit more gentle than just, you know, if it's like intense sex or whatever, they know just to take a little bit slow.
And then I guess like if they turn around and they're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable in doing that, then that's also... I guess that's okay because if you turn around and say to someone like,
but it's also just a point of conversation. Then you could be like, okay, well, if you don't want to do that, then you know, what's going on here? Like,
exactly.
There's literally no point. When I lost my virginity, my mum, I lost it with my boyfriend at the time. Yeah. And my mum hated him, like she hated him with a passion. Yeah. And she was like, he only wants one thing from you, and she'd always tell me. And I was like, Mum, I've literally been giving it to him left, right, and centre, like. I don't know if she's gonna listen to this or not, but I mean that's when she'll find out. Yeah. But she still says it now, and she's like,
"Was he older than you?"
Yeah, so I was 15, he was 16. Or 16, 17,
I feel like that's when mums are just straight. That's just their instinct, I think.
She just didn't like him at all, and I remember it was after like prom night, like one of those, and. My mum told me to come home at 2 a.m. and it was like 5 a.m. and she was like ringing me and she was driving around the town that I live.
I used to have so much of that. Like my mum just like circling around the town being like, come home, I know what you're doing. And I was like, leave me alone, lady. Because I'm having a good time.
I was like, stop trying to restrict me. I'm having sex, okay?
Leave me alone.
I'm living my best life, Mum.
But then also there's the thing of like, would you rather, like, I think they'd rather you be doing it in a safe environment. I've known so many stories like people losing it in a bush, like car, that sort of thing.
100%.
I think you, at that age, if you know that they're doing it in a safe way, I think you just got to, like, shed a blind eye to it and just be like, okay, I know you're doing that, but, like, I'm glad you're doing it in a safe way.
This is, like, super shocking, but when I had sex with him, I went to the doctors and got the pill and everything. Like, I was really, like, safe, and I feel like I had my head screwed on for, like, that age. And when my mum found the pill, she took it off me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my aunties always said to her, like, you'd rather her doing it in your house if she is. You'd rather her be safe. Like, why would you do that? And I still think now in the back of my head, like, and like I get so many girls messaging me on social media, like, I've had sex, like, what do I do now? Like, what's your opinion on plan B and things like that? And I'm like, honestly trying to give them like the best advice, because I'm like, if they had that like I did, like, taken away from them,
going to the doctors on your own at that age is so scary. Again, like, ever my mom, like, actually talking about it, my mom was probably just super open. I'm pretty sure like she probably didn't even put it on me like, oh, I know you're having sex. I think she literally just was like, oh, now you're having like regular periods, and oh, you've had like some migraines and stuff from your periods, and you'd probably be having sex soon and stuff. And I think she just took me to the doctors and we just got it. What did you do?
I think the great thing about like the pill and contraception is that it has multiple uses. So even though like sometimes you can say like you're going on it for that, you can also, I know some people have strict parents, and obviously that's so unfortunate, but you can say you're going on it because of your skin. I was really lucky, so I went on Roaccutane because I had awful acne when I was like younger, and when you get put on Roaccutane, you have to take 2 forms of contraception at the same time. Yeah, you have to take 2 forms of contraception. No, so it's, you can't get pregnant on Roaccutane or the baby comes out like really bad, so you have to be on 2 forms of contraception.
No way.
And I was 14 at the time, so they still have to do it, and you have to take like a pregnancy test every time that I got it prescribed. So every month I'd have a pregnancy test, I'd be on the depot injection, and I'd also be on the pill.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so obviously I was triple protected. But yeah, I was on that, and obviously I had like a boyfriend at the time, so I was like, okay, great, like I'm triple protected. The depot injection just screwed me over for years. Like it took away my period. I didn't have a period for like 4 years whilst we were like traveling. Like I literally didn't have one. When I got my period back, like I was like weaning myself off the injection. I got my period back, I was like, this is the best day ever. I was like, this is amazing. Because it's like you just, even though it's great not having a period,
probably worry a bit.
Yeah, you gain weight. Like there's so many just like other like factors to it, and it's like just contraception is just like
I've always been really steady on contraception. I've just been on the same pill, which is bad. I actually need to, this is a reality check, I need to go to the doctors. But like, I've been on the same pill since I was like 16, 17 until now I'm 25, and I know you're only supposed to be on the same contraception for like 5 or 6 years, aren't you? But I've never had like a single pregnancy scare. I've never done a pregnancy test, like never.
Do you know what's so funny about boys though? So when you sleep with them, they always say to you, they go, oh, are you on the pill? And like obviously every time I'm like, yeah, but like sometimes I'll be on the depot, or I'll like I had the coil.
They don't know.
Like I'm always just like, yeah, I'm on the pill, and then like I can't be asked like explaining it. And then one time this guy was like, are you on the pill? And I went, no. And I just left it at like no. And after that I was like, okay, yeah, I'm on the depot there. And he was like, fuck
they don't
me.
know all the different things, like they actually don't.
No, and there's no point really explaining it. All they know is like the pill. So like, but there was that time like it was like I was seeing him for a while. I was like, yeah, I'll just tell him like I'm on the injection instead. And then and at first he was like, like when I was like, no, I'm not on the pill, but it's like you don't want to say that like whilst you're getting into it, you know. You don't.
Yeah, no, I'm not
like,
on the pill, but I'm on this.
Yeah,
like in
exactly.
the middle of
like at first she's just like, yeah, I'm on the pill, because he was like, I've literally never seen you take the pill, and I was like. Yeah,
he's there like, is she on the pill or
what pill? No, it's weird. Boys don't really understand contraception.
No,
I think they just think it's either like a pill. They know about an implant, and I think that's just because they can feel it. And condoms. That is all they know, I feel. Like, I've had someone ask me before, like when I've said, oh, like it's okay, like I'm on the pill, and they've been like, oh, don't girls just only go on contraception if they're like having sex regularly? And I'm like,
honestly,
no, like you can have it for
try again.
Like, I say, oh no, you can have it for anything, and you can be having sex like casually every now and then and just be on the pill in the meantime. Like it's not like, oh, I'm having sex today, better take a pill. Like,
literally.
No,
I'm kind of glad that my mum took it off. Well, not at that point.
Yeah,
I'm probably not glad that she took it off me. I think that was just ridiculous. But I haven't been on contraception for like 3 years,
really,
4 years. So, like, all throughout when I was single, never took anything, literally nothing. And I've had a boyfriend now for, like, however long, and we don't use anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just use natural cycles.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard about that, and I think it's interesting, but I think you have to, because obviously it's very much a two-way thing.
Yeah.
And I think they're obviously nervous about it as well, and, like, obviously you would be, but I feel like you both have to be on board with that, and it has to be consent. I think that's so great though.
I don't actually think I know any. Well,
how does that work?
You take your temperature every morning.
Yeah.
So before you get out of bed, before you go to the toilet, anything, like literally as you sit up, take your temperature, and then you put it into the app, and then it like, once you do it for so long, you get so many green days a month and so many red days.
What do you use? Flow? Or something. Is it
Natural Cycles? They have like an app that like goes with it.
Yeah.
And on your green days you're like fine to do whatever. I mean, you can pull out or use a condom if you know if you're a worrier, but I'm not at all.
Yeah.
And neither's he really. So I mean, yeah, that's fine. And then on a red day, you either like abstain or 100% use a condom, which again is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because
what is it? It's
when you're ovulating at the start of the month. That's when is that when it's most likely to happen?
Yeah. You're like really. I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of people get pregnant easy.
Yeah.
But in like the whole cycle, there's like 2 days where you're like really high chance of getting pregnant. Like it's really not actually that easy to get pregnant all the time. So yeah, I mean,
some people are just
not
super
a worrier.
fertile.
Yeah, and some people worry as well. I probably wouldn't recommend natural cycles to people who worry because you're not taking anything. There's actually nothing preventing you from getting pregnant. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a worrier. Yeah. So I'm absolutely fine on it. I'd rather that than I just don't react well to like pills or anything like that. They just make me so moody and suppress my like personality, even like mad. So like I'm coming off that.
Yeah. That's why I'm just kind of lucky. I've never had a problem with it until I feel like it's going to get to the point where when I do want children, it's going to take me ages to be able to conceive because I've been on the same one for so long. Like obviously
my friend had that though and she got pregnant within a month.
Really?
So don't keep that in your mind.
Because I'm like, you know, like when you have the 7-day break and then you start bleeding on like day 3, I'm like, if I just forget to take my pill, like I will just bleed. Or then if I have my period and then I forget to take it for a couple of days, I'll just start another period again. And I feel like it'd just be like a constant bleed. But it's interesting.
It is interesting. Like there's so many different types as
the
well.
way
I feel like
female bodies work.
It's so obviously, as we mentioned at the start, we've got quite a lot of like sexual and like fun cards in the deck. So we're going to deep dive into the cards. Obviously, we're going to play them and we're going to talk about them as well. Like we can elaborate where
we've picked
where we need
the
to
cards
go.
out of like different decks, just so that they kind of match the mood. But
match
we'll
the mood.
let you know what game they're from and stuff.
So, girls' night in. Take a sip or spill if you've had a Tom, Ben, or Max phase.
It's like 1-syllable name curse.
I mean, I can fully spill on this.
Yeah.
I actually don't know whether I've had a phase like that. I've been with some wrong-uns. I've been with some wrong-uns, like, but one of those phases, that's where they literally just mess you about, isn't it? And you like want something more, right? That's like the definition of one of those phases. No, I feel like maybe
you're like, oh, I messed them about.
Maybe like I'm a Tom, Ben, or Max. Like maybe it's me because
it gets messed
maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. Like, am I the villain? Like, I actually don't know because I've never had that phase. Like, I feel like I've already got to them before or been like, I actually don't want you as a boyfriend, so like, this is fine. And then they're like, oh, what?
Yeah, to be fair, I actually hear that because I'm like, either I'm not really interested and I'll just end it when I get bored.
Yeah.
Or it's them that's like not super interested. They don't want a relationship, but I'll end it before I can get super hurt over it, before it gets too deep. It's like I'm always just
that's so good though.
Like I've never been broken up with.
Yeah, like I remember this guy I was seeing literally just as I broke up with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like after.
Yeah.
And that was going on for like a few months, and we went for a drive, and he was like being really off with me, and I was like, I know exactly where this is going, but I actually don't understand why.
Yeah, you just know.
Because I was like, this isn't actually going anywhere. Like, I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
So we like parked up, and he was like, right, so I know we're friends, and we were like really good friends beforehand and everything. And he was like, I just feel like we should stop the sexual part of this relationship. And I was like,
okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's fine. Like, I mean, I've just moved out. I'm like single. Like, yeah, that's good with me. I was like, oh, we can carry on. Like, I know it's not going to go anywhere than this. Like, that's fine. And then we drove off, and he was like, I feel really silly now. And I was like, you should have just spoken to me. Like, this could have been so much more chill.
Yeah, don't make it up.
I feel like boys are like sometimes scared of girls because like they think they're going to overreact. They think that they're going to give them like a scene or like a show. There's nothing I hate more than just being lied to. Like, do not bullshit me. Don't lie to me. If you tell me straight, this is friends with benefits. Like, nothing more than that. That's fine. I know
I'm gonna take that as it is.
Yeah, you told me that straight. If you bullshit me, take me on dates, bring me flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
cook for me. Then
I since this has happened.
That is not friends with benefits. Yeah. So
it's like not a friends with benefits.
Like, it's happened to me where they've taken me to like family parties and stuff.
Oh my god, yeah.
I've been to a bloody like a family party, and it's just like
she was like meeting all the aunties and
yeah, and it's like it's just a casual thing. Oh no, I'm not actually ready for a relationship. Why the fuck have I met like your cousins and your aunties and your friends and stuff? If you want to be casual with someone, keep it casual.
Yeah,
call
keep it
them
casual.
Text them at 10 p.m. and ask them
say,
if you're up.
Come over. Don't
just keep it normal
don't,
like that.
Ask me, oh, what are you doing Saturday afternoon? Do you want to come to a family party?
Do you want me to cook? Do you want me to like do this? Like no.
There was this guy who used to live in the same building as me, and we had a rooftop.
That's so convenient.
He texted me like go on the rooftop, and I was like, my room actually looked onto it, so I was like looking to see if he was there because I was like, what is he doing? And I went, and he'd left this like massive bouquet of flowers, and I was like, do I leave them there? Like, what? I was like, this is casual. Like, why are you buying me gifts? Like, that's nice. And yeah, I mean, now I have to water them. But I was just a bit like, this is casual. Like, why are you buying me this? And I think he was then like, that's so ungrateful. I was like, no, I am actually really grateful. But at the same time, this is casual. And you've literally probably bought the 5 other girls that you're dating these flowers as well. Like, I don't care for them. Don't waste your money.
I feel like it's like when they know that a girl's gonna like it, it's just because they've done it before. Either
did you keep them? Did you keep the flowers?
I did keep them, to be fair. I didn't
You're a better woman than me. I took them out, tossed them out the window, snapped the toothbrush. Like, I was like, got the toothbrush snapping was dramatic because I got my toothbrush and I was like, yeah, done.
Oh my god. No, I did keep them, but they literally just sat there and like died because I just didn't even like bother with them. I think I dated him like a few more times after that, but I was very aware like you're trying to play me at this point and I actually don't care. Like, we'll just end it. But he actually got arrested and went to prison, so they ended it for
Sounds
me.
like a lovely guy.
Yeah, sometimes you need like a sign, and I feel like
that's
the sign.
Oh my god, okay.
Okay.
So one of the cards from Better Together. I know you're in a relationship now, aren't you?
I am.
So just generally, or like in your relationship, drink if you have the highest sex drive. I know, like, is it also a fact check?
Gosh, yeah.
Is it men have higher libido than women?
No.
Or women have higher libido?
I think men think they have the higher libido, but my goodness, no, they don't.
Okay, so the reason why I'm not drinking right now, so I always used to have the highest sex drive. Okay, so this guy that I'm seeing, like, at the minute, he has the highest sex drive I've ever met of anyone in my life. Honestly, like, it's fucking crazy.
Really?
My ex-boyfriend, I used to beg him to do 2 rounds. I used to be like, please, I need another round. Like, with this guy, you can just keep going. And, like, I even tell you, and she's like, oh, I'm really sad. Like, I'm not doing that.
She tells me, she's like, 3 times last night, 3 times this morning, da-da-da-da-da. Just keep going.
My goodness.
Finishes, it keeps going.
Yeah, and she's like,
girl. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit jealous, to be honest.
But it's like, I no, and when he first told me, I was like, that's bullshit. I was like, because I had a really high sex drive.
I thought, now you're like, maybe it's just...
Yeah, I'm like,
no more.
I think I'm quite normal.
I thought it was like honeymoon periods, you know, like at the start when you're just constantly going at
100%.
it. I thought it was going to fade off. It didn't.
She was like, I'm lucky if I get 2 times in a weekend.
Yeah, when I first got with my boyfriend, like, I was shocked at his sex drive. I was like, oh my god, like, have I found someone who matches my sex drive? I mean, now obviously it's died down a little bit. Mine hasn't.
Yeah,
but,
I feel like
I mean, it's still good.
Yeah,
it's still good, but like, yeah, I've definitely got a higher sex drive. I think it's a bit of a shock to the system for him every time.
Do people do say that men do have higher libido?
Yeah,
right?
it's not true.
But it's not true.
No,
it's not.
And plus, like, women's fluctuate so much more because of like time of the month and all that sort of stuff. Like ours fluctuates to like a 2-week period. We might be like every single day, just like super horn on it. Yeah. Whereas like guys is sort of like the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
I feel like we're like so weird, but we're like super open about like sex and like even being horny. Like, I'll message her sometimes. I'm so. No, but it's true. Like,
you're like, are you giving me a hint?
I messaged her.
Do you want me to do something about it?
No, what's really funny is I messaged her once, and it was before we were going to Mexico, and like we're really open, but like we would never like we'd never do anything together. But we always just joke about it. I messaged her once. And we were like away from each other. We were going to meet each other at the airport. And I messaged her. I was like, I'm really horny. And she texted me. She was like, do you want me to finger you on the flight? I took a screenshot of it, put it on my private story, and people thought it was like a boy, and they were like, oh my God. I was like, no, it's just her.
It was like before,
No, it's just my best
when I
mate.
was on the way here, she called me. She was like, I was driving. She was like, I just sent you a picture. I opened it on Snapchat, and it's just like her in her underwear. I was like,
yeah,
I was
like
cool.
matching underwear.
I was like, oh,
sets.
save and chat.
No, do you know what we did once? We went to Primark, and we both bought these matching lingerie sets.
Yeah.
And we were seeing two boys at the time, and they were in a uni house, and their rooms were next to each other, and we were both sleeping with them that night. And we both wore these sets, and for some reason wanted to play like a joke on them. We wanted them to like talk to each other and be like, why were they wearing the same set? Obviously they weren't going to do that.
Yeah,
But then
that's
the morning
just what
afterwards,
girls do.
they were like,
Just, we would have noticed. If
yeah,
they
we were like,
doing
oh,
it.
did you like the set that I was wearing? And then like the other guy like would have picked up and be like, she was wearing the same set, and it was like this like red lace set that we're both wearing. And then,
Oh my God.
oh, it's just
Stop.
girly
No, I
things.
I think I have seen someone like comment on one of your videos before saying like, what do I do like if my boyfriend doesn't want to have sex with me as much as like I want to with him or something.
Yeah, I've had a few like questions like that, and it's usually the girl asking. And
Like,
I
what would you
always say,
advise to
like,
that?
you can't force someone into like having sex as much as you want to. And I think in my past relationship, it was definitely like an issue.
Yeah.
But I think you have to figure out like what matters to you. Like, I think sex is super important, and like it definitely feeds into like other aspects of my relationship. But I think you do have to sort of like discuss it as a couple and say like, you know, this is how much I sort of want sex really, and it's really important to me. If I don't get it, like, I'm gonna be a moody bitch, or like I'm gonna be this, or like, you know, would you be fine with me finding it elsewhere? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that really. If people have different libidos or people have different needs and wants in a relationship, it can be the same if someone's got like a different sexuality and things like that. Like, can I find it elsewhere and still be like loyal to you in a way, but like just non-monogamous or whatever? But yeah.
Okay, so from Better Together, this is tell your partner your ideal role play scenario or take a drink. So what is your ideal? Has anyone, either of you done role play?
Yeah, I have.
I've done role play. It's
You used to
awful.
work for a
uncomfortable.
dress-up company, please. Tell me you
Oh
didn't
my God,
use
I
that.
used to, no. So I used to work for like, okay,
No
I used to do
way.
kids' parties, and I used to be like a Disney princess at kids' parties.
Stop it.
Every boy that I would see at the time would be like, please dress up as that for me. I used to be like, absolutely fucking not.
You led used to a kids' party, babe.
Yeah,
Like, what?
that's what I mean. So I'd never do that, but there was one time that this guy that I was seeing, he did chemistry at uni, and he really wanted me to do this like role play thing. Like, we were in like a lab, and he like it's fucking awful. I don't want
God.
to describe it. Anyway, yeah, you get the fucking picture. But have you done it?
Did you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Do you know what? It was okay. It was fun, but I'm the type of person, I laugh during sex, and sometimes if it's with certain people,
I
I'm the
would not
same.
take it seriously.
Okay,
There's no way
if
I
it's
could.
was, I always tell people, if I laugh during sex, like, you need to put me back in the mood, or else I'll keep laughing. And if you laugh with me, then it's just like, it kills the mood. But like, I always like tell them that you need to like bring it down. So I can't do anything that's like laughy.
Yeah, I did it once, and I hadn't even been seeing this guy for like that long.
Really?
But he was just like, he was really into like his role play.
Yeah.
And I was like, whatever, like I haven't done it before. Why not? And it was like a school teacher situation. Oh my God, it makes me
Did you like dress
cringe.
up?
Yeah. And it honestly makes me cringe so much thinking about it now. I mean, it was fun at the time. I don't think it's something I would want to do again, but I'd be into it if someone else wanted to dress
I'm
up
not
and like put
opposed
me
to
in my
do
place.
it. It's not my thing, but I'm not opposed to it. Because like, give me like a little like sexy school girl outfit, and I feel really good. Like, it's like a nice lingerie set. Like, you feel really good when you're in it. But it's like, I'm not opposed to it, but it's not really my thing.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, right? But if my boyfriend dressed up as a cowboy.
Do you think? Like, oh my God, like the Love Island one where when they dress up. Like, what's like...
A cowboy is 100% mine. I don't know what it is.
What's
Put that
like
man in a cowboy hat
I
and
love
I'll be
like
good to go.
like a grafter, like a builder.
Yes, with the builder pants.
Yeah, but that is just like, I feel like it's either like men in uniform or
Nice.
like kind of like tradesman, like just dirty clothes, like the dirty cargo trousers.
Just very like in their like male form. That's so sexy.
Just really sexy. Just like a masculine. Yeah.
I used to have a thing actually with guys in suits, but them not actually taking the suit off to have sex with me, like kind of keeping the suit on.
God, yeah.
Fucking sweaty. That's what that is. Sweaty.
Literally, but yeah, that used to be a thing.
Okay, what's the next card?
If you and your partner could have sex anywhere in public, where would it be? It's got to be like a destination, like a beach destination.
Ew, on the beach. No,
I can just imagine like a really just like secluded beach.
You're gonna get
either
sand
in
up
the
here.
sea. I want to say like
you're gonna get sand up your vagina, and that's gonna ruin your holiday. That's what's gonna happen, girl.
All right, okay.
I would like on the edge of like an infinity pool with like a nice view.
Oh yeah, actually, I shouldn't have spoke first. So
okay, mine is in a lift.
In a lift.
Right, this. Oh my god, I just think this is so hot, like in a lift, right? And then like you're going up and down, like there's like you don't know if you're gonna stop. I just like press all the buttons and you just go up and down. And you have to do it really fast, and then like you just act normal. Like you come out of the lift and you act normal. Yeah. And there's, by the way, guys. So I used to work in like a property management company. There's never cameras in lifts, so go wild, go wild.
Is there not?
No. There's never cameras in lifts.
Oh my god, I mean, I would definitely do that.
So go wild, press the buttons and
just keep pressing.
Go wild. I think it's so hot though.
Yeah, that's that would be, to be fair.
I think it's really hot.
Or it's like somewhere,
it's
just
like
anywhere
risky,
in public.
actually,
where you think it's a bit risky.
Like got a bit of a risk to it, of like risk of getting caught, I think.
Yeah.
Where is the riskiest place that you've done? Either of you?
I have not really.
No.
I mean, this is really awful, but where I live at home, there's like a pub and there's a wall down the side of the pub and like a little like alley sort of thing. And my mum and dad came home once and they were like, like giggling, like, oh, we heard like two people having sex at this alley. Like we couldn't see them obviously because it's like a thing, but and I was like, oh my god, that was me. Me and my boyfriend stopped on the way home and like did it on the wall, like up against the wall, but I didn't, and my parents were at the pub and I was like, oh my god, that was me. And I was just like, oh no, like laughing about it, like, so oh, wonder what they were getting up to. And I was like, stop thinking about me having sex.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was awful. No. And it wasn't even that good sex either, to be honest.
No, yeah, I feel like when it's like in a place like that, it's never actually that good. It's just like more risky and more funny. Okay, so are you more dominant or submissive in bed?
I want to say submissive.
Yeah, me too.
I like to start dominant and then they can put me in my place.
Yeah, I like to be a bit of a bitch.
I like pretend I'm dominant.
Yeah,
me like,
yeah, I
knocked
agree
down
with that. Yeah, I'm
definitely.
I'll start. Yeah, and I think that's also, it's like who has a higher libido or higher sex drive. It's like I'll probably initiate it more, but then like during, I'm like, I would rather be submissive, even though it's probably me that's initiated.
You have to gain the confidence, I think, also to be dominant. I would never do it like on a first time with someone.
Oh my god, I would.
Would you? Yeah. I don't think I would.
I think
I'd be way too scared.
I would rather, just because I feel like I'd want to
be dominant.
Sexy. I wouldn't be like super dominant, like telling them what, like putting them in that place and like speaking to them. But I'd probably like.
Do you know what? But as a girl, it's important because obviously for them, most of the time it's going to feel good. Like, but for a girl, it's very different. So you kind of got to kind of tell them like what to do. But like with positions and stuff, like
when I was single, I was just like, fuck it, like I'm not going to see you again.
Really?
Like, I mean, if I do, then at least the tone is set. But. You know, if I'm not, then like,
God, imagine
whatever.
If you think it's gonna get like more like after that, and then you're just like, no, I'm actually submissive.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be like that all the time.
I can never be like the dominatrix style though, like whipping and stuff. And that's not funny.
I don't know. I feel like I've mixed. Like I've gone in between. I think it depends who I'm having sex with. As well.
I just laugh. Like I feel like I just think of myself doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, no. I'd rather just be like,
yeah, leave that to you.
Yeah, like you can do that. Okay, so. Fuck, marry, kill, but missionary, oral, and doggy. You have to. I feel like you've got to
happening to me or given.
Oh yeah.
If it's oral,
given.
Receiving. Yeah.
Receiving. Or do you think
receiving?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think receiving. Like receiving, missionary, oral, and doggy.
Because it's really hard to get my head
I thought
around.
about this, so I said fuck Fuck oral, marry doggy, and kill missionary. I am a big missionary fan, but like...
Yeah, I think I would say the same.
Doggy just beats it. I'm trying
to wrap my head around it, like the order of things.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I would say the same. I would kill missionary. Actually, no, marry doggy. Is that what you said? Yeah, marry doggy. Fuck oral, kill missionary. Yeah.
I'd kill oral. Fuck missionary, marry doggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
100. Do you know what? I prefer just having sex rather than having oral. I think it feels so much better.
Yeah, so do I.
And like I've had, like, obviously it's been good, but I just much prefer.
I don't like it when it's like oral all the time. I'd rather it like not every now and then, but not like every time, just so it's more of like a surprise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a solo game. Yeah, it's like if they're there and I'm like a bit like at 69, I mean. Yeah, that'd be better. Because I can get involved. Yeah. But if I'm just sort of like there, like, I'm enjoying it, I'm having fun, but like I'm not involved with the person, so I'm a bit like, come back.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. So I have got, what is one myth you believed about sex growing up? It can be multiple, I guess, just in general. You've probably got a lot that you could probably name that people, like, even me saying, oh, is it true about men having higher libido? Things
probably
like that.
Just like that it's painful. Like, I mean, some people do have painful sex, but it's not supposed to be painful. I think a lot of people think that it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Especially women. Like, sex is not supposed to be painful. And if it is, like, you need to get it sorted because it's really not supposed to be. And I think even in school, they sort of do tease on the fact that it might be painful. And even for your first time, like, it's not supposed to be painful. Maybe a little bit uncomfortable, but definitely not painful.
No.
Yeah.
And I wish more people knew that as well, because it's really normalised. And, you know, people could have women could have a lot of issues that they're not getting checked because they think it's so normal for it to be painful.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone told me this one, and I feel like I've kind of heard it before, but it's if you masturbate too much, you go blind. But that's like a guy one. Yeah, that's a guy one.
That is not true.
Yeah, not true at all. Yeah, but it's like a thing.
And another one, actually, if you use a vibrator too much, that your clit can be like desensitized.
Oh yeah, and then like if you have
say
sex
that.
too much as well, like you're just more loose, and it's just not.
Oh yeah,
that's
like,
not
sex. Yeah, that you're loose.
If you have anal sex a lot, then you can go loose because that has no like elasticity to it. Like it doesn't. So that can actually be a thing. But your vagina will not go any different with the amount of guys or girls you slept with. Like it
just shrinks.
It just goes back to itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a myth is that like women come. Like not all women come. You kind of think that that's what is supposed to happen. Not all women can.
Do you know what?
Orgasm.
It feels good. Like sometimes I'll have sex, it'll feel good, but I don't finish. Like obviously it still feels good, but it's like I'm not gonna finish every time. Like it's just not. It just feel good, but like I don't think. Like,
do you use toys and stuff?
Yeah. And like I finish, but it's like, and obviously I finish like with guys sometimes, but like I can't all the time.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think men even understand that there's like clitoral orgasm and then like,
there's different orgasm.
Like
there's so many different types. Like you can have an orgasm from your nipple.
It's wild. Is that what you can have an orgasm from like working out, right? Like an ab. Is that like an ab?
Yeah, you can have. There's so many different types. It's like you can have one from your ear.
God.
Oh my God, I hate when people touch my ears because I have so many piercings. I'm like,
from
actually
what?
get away.
Like from it being penetrated?
Yeah, penetrated or like even like people licking it or like things like that. Yeah, it's wild.
You can orgasm for us. It's crazy.
Okay, we'll finish with one last one. So what is your biggest turn on?
Like actually in the bedroom?
Yeah.
That's so difficult.
I know.
I think... I don't know whether this sounds bad, but pain, like 100% pain. If someone tries to like hurt me a little bit, then I love it. Like if someone smacks me, like whether that be my bum or my face, like I love it.
Yeah, just like it's true. I guess,
and kissing though, like
it's
my ex
like
never used to kiss during sex.
I love kissing. Yeah,
I don't like kissing during sex.
Really?
Yeah, like on the lead up to it, but then when it's actually happening there,
I'm like, that does turn me on. But like actually during, I'm like, it's kind of actually like I actually just don't really want to kiss.
Oh, really?
I'm not a massive kisser. I'm actually just like
I love it
I'm
now,
just not a
but I never
kissy
used to. To be fair, I never used to, but My ex never used to. I don't know whether he's like concentrating so much.
Oh, yeah.
But like my boyfriend now is like really into kissing, and I was like, oh my god, like boys actually kiss during sex. I didn't know that was a thing.
What about you? What's your biggest?
I would probably say that kissing on the lead up, or like you say, not necessarily pain, but I don't know, just something that's a bit like it. Yeah, I don't know. Even
just
when you just
like light BDSM.
you know when like a guy just like jokes with you, like pretends to strangle you, and you're like, oh, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Like something that's a joke that you're then like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think neck kissing's like obviously that's just like for everyone. Biggest turn on as well. I just like it when there's like a nice lead up to it, like. It's not just like...
Yeah.
Do you know what? This is actually a really strange one. I wasn't going to say it, but when my boyfriend talks about him having sex with other girls, like it really turns me on. Yeah, like I don't know what it is. I actually don't know whether it is like... I put a TikTok on the other day, like, is this a coping mechanism? Because I've been cheated on a lot in the past. Yeah. And I'm like, have I like flipped it on its head? Yeah. So like now it's something that actually turns me on instead. Really? So I can like accept it.
Do you know what? That's so crazy.
Not accept cheating, but like if they're involved with other girls, like even if I'm there, like it's fine.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm just the type of person I just can't like get my head around that.
My best friend said that. She's like, Millie, how? Like, how aren't you like ripping his head off?
But you know what? That's amazing because you're like so secure with yourself that like you just know that it's like not no one else is like.
Yeah. Also, when I was single, like I got involved with like other people as couples and like wanted to see it from that side. Yeah. And it's so nice like being able to be the single person in that situation and like walk away from it. Yeah. And I know that there can be literally nothing. You know, a boy can't try and play you because he's got a girlfriend. Yeah. You know, she's not going to do anything. Yeah. Like I'm still friends with a lot of the people that I did that with, and it's like it's just really like refreshing. It's actually quite like empowering. Yeah. So like now I don't mind it because I'm like, oh, that'd be nice if like, someone was involved.
So interesting. Yeah, what a great way to end it. So that was another episode of All Cards on the Table. Thank you so much, Millie, for coming on. I feel like we spoke about everything from turn-ons to sex myths, stigmas. Like we really deep dived into this. Mum, I'm so sorry if you're watching this right now.
Yeah, if my mum watches this, she's gonna have a heart attack. Honestly, please don't.
Do you want to just let everyone know where they can find you and get your book? And
of course. Like so all of my socials are at Millie G Shields, and the ebook is literally on a link through all my socials, so they can find it all there, and the new one will be on the same link as well, so you can find me there. But also if anyone has any questions, like feel free to message me on Instagram or TikTok, like wherever you can in the comments, and I do try and get back to like every single person as well, because I know what it's like to be in like limbo with questions, so I do try. But no, thank you so much for having me on as well. It's been so fun to like talk about all this sort of stuff.
Fun. So subscribe, like to All Cards on the Table on TikTok and YouTube, and that's a wrap.
Great.
Fun.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.